You arrive in the program, we're at the dashboard, which gives you insight into all your brokerage, and we are doing brokerage today. Your gross pay total and your carrier pay that's been done, the brokerage you've earned, the profit, how many loads are out there that aren't invoiced that you're waiting on paperwork are, that's holding up your money, so on and so forth. And this can be even set for not just a week or a month, but a single day. So you can come in every morning if you want, set this for today's date, and watch your day as things progress. This can also be blocked from unwanted eyes through our security system, very simply. Take a minute here on security. This is an intro video, nothing detailed, but we do one thing in security a lot of people don't. It's called roles. A role is just that. I could be an agent, a person that you just hired, could be a basic accounting person, a dispatch. You might want to add a level 2 dispatch, and all you do is just come in here and just add in whatever you want to do as far as a name, and this maybe a second level agent, and you would go in here and I want him to view, add, edit loads, and I want him to be able to do the same thing with carriers. And let's say just for the ease of things, that's all he's going to be able to do. That means he can't see anything else in the system, just his own, and he can only add and edit loads and carriers. We'd save that, and then we have a new role forevermore. When we hire an agent of this type, we just come to make him an agent too. Adjust anything you want. Maybe you want to change a few of the settings, but you basically don't have to all the settings. You don't have to do this all over every time, and it gets to be a burden over some months or years of doing this sort of thing. Anyway, I wanted to show that real quick, and we'll go back in and hit the brokerage. The brokerage centers around the load board, and everything's dispatched. It's active in here. Now you can see loads that, for example, are empty and closed, but most of the time it's going to stay in the active mode. We have a nice search criteria area up here, and real simple to use. For example, I want to see what loads are assigned to a particular carrier. Select it, search it. There they are. Another powerful thing that we use all the latest and best web controls and tools for this program, so it's the latest and greatest. When you go to sort columns, for example, most all software you have a menu here to choose how you want to sort or filter. In our system, you can do that as well, but you can just click the title on the caption, and you get, the first click is, you see the graphics as ascending. Click it again, you get descending order. Click it a third time, the filter drops, and you're back to normal. And you can do this on any of our grids. One click, two clicks, and then the third click to clear it. Nothing could be easier, and a very powerful tool. I'm going to close this up to gain back some real estate here. And actually, before I do that, let me clear the filter so we get our loads back. And close that up. Now, all the loads here, they're again are active, and you have a control over how many per page and how to scroll through the pages here. It's real simple stuff. And you have 3 action buttons that are available on any of our rows of data. Actually, you can print. In this case, rate confirmation. And you just hit OK and it prints it. Now you can email it straight from the program. We're not going to do that today and set that all up. Load sheet, rate confirmation, and what data you want them to see, the driver sheet, the customer rate agreement, proof of delivery request, bill of lading, on and on and on. I'm just going to print a quick rate confirmation just so we can see it. It comes up in its own tab with any of our reports, and you see it right there. So we got the print button, and we have the edit button on a load. You can edit a load. Any of the data can be changed at any time as long as it's not locked down and it's been invoiced. We have a utility menu. It's got a lot of useful stuff on it. Carrier rates, the load stuff. Maybe you want to just enter and edit these loads and change them or rearrange the order or something. We do have a menu just for that. And you can also do that from here as well. And several ways to do that. But there's several things on here, that might not be as obvious on the buttons and visible, but they are on this menu here. So, and this is basically the same screen you use to enter a load. And we'll show that as we go. So we've printed it, we've edited it. Now let's view one. The view mode I like a lot. It's high contrast, black print on a white background, shows up real good. Basically all the same info as the other screens, just in a different format, easy to read. But here's some stuff that's very powerful. And you can attach documents in other areas, but there again, with this contrast on the screen, it's easier to use and show folks. So I'm going to go to documents, and I've already added one test document in the past, and I'm going to attach another one. And all you do, I'm sorry, is my bad there. Drag over a file, any text file or document at all, and then it comes down here and asks for a description. And you could also just check this box and use the file name, however you want to do it. Attach it, and you have the document attached to that load forevermore. Super easy to see it. Just go to it and hit the eyeball to view it. Very little info in here. It's just a test document. And then we have proof of delivery, which is some people like to, and where customers require, how many pieces and weight and date and time and who signed for it. You can do all that if you want to. Tracking or check calls, everybody's familiar with that, I'm sure, and you can enter these manual, and we can also bring in GPS data from outside sources to give locations as well. The big one for me is history. Everything in this program has complete transparency and visibility. So and accountability. So anybody on this load that does any changes to it at all is going to be listed on the history tab under view, and you see it all right here, date and time, who changed it, what user, what they do. And I mean, this is powerful. No IT has to get involved, and you don't have to have our tech people. And you can do audit logs, for that matter, through the whole system here. And we also have it on the entity. This is a big thing, I think, these days, to have true accountability on who's doing what in your system. If a rate gets changed or some info gets changed, things happen accidentally and things happen that maybe aren't, but you can find it here, track it down easily. Super easy. We'll go back, and we went through these 3 action buttons. Adding a load, I mean, I'm not going to go through the process. Super simple. You do it, and you just start tabbing through. I mean, for example, you wouldn't have your carrier yet, but you might have the customer name, and you can do that. You tab and tab and tab, and it's, save it when you're done. It's simple. You also can use templates to do these where you don't have to enter anything. You can take a load, enter it, and for example, let's just take one that's already here. And in addition to the utilities, you can take a load and move it over to the template right here. So you can enter a load you don't have a template for, just one, or any one you have. Go to the utilities menu and either view or edit and add to reoccurring templates. And then what that does is it gives this load a copy of itself that you can use to make unlimited numbers of copies from. I could say new load, drop the template down, list down on the loads entry screen, pick one of these, puts all the data in for me, then I can tell it how many copies I want, 5, and it does it all. Just almost instantaneously. Super easy to use. We have planning. We also have LTL planning, which is a real powerful tool. Great. If you do LTL, this is priceless, obviously. You enter partials in the system. It's a normal load, but you just check a box that says partial, and you'll get your partials up here that you can in turn drag down onto a trip. So a single trip would have 1, 2, 3, 4, however many partials it has. Now I can highlight one of these down here and do the edit, and we'll see what a LTL looks like when it's completed. You have 2 pros involved and the 4 stops involved on the 2 loads. And you put these together, arrange the stops to whatever order needs to be for shortest route or timely delivery, whatever the case may be. And you just treat this like a load. You put your carrier on, carrier pay, and the rates are added up for you on the gross pay from the pros you enter. Pretty simple, pretty simple. LTL can be complicated, but not in Dr. Dispatch. We'll exit out of that. Of course, we have customers over here because they're shared between trucking, brokerage, customers, shippers, and receivers, and carriers has its own CRM type list inside of the brokerage. So we go here, we have our carriers, and you can rate them if you want to, and you can go over here and go to the edit, and you've got a place for equipment, insurance, and of course the biggie is to be able to select what equipment they have on the previous page, where they go to, what states, what countries, and what kind of freight service they offer, LTL, flatbed, etc. And that gets it where you can use this data from the carrier lanes to do lane searches. Example, 53 reefer I'm going to need tomorrow. I need an LTL carrier because this is a partial. I need somebody that'll go to California. So I check these three boxes, search, and in this case it returns one carrier, which I can be the first one I'd want to call to try and move this load before I go to the load board, etc. So we got that going on. We went over the templates. Carrier advances are self-explanatory if you give advances and carriers take them. And we went over LTL. Revenue is the final thing. And this, there again, can be hidden from the eyes that don't need to see it, but it has all your revenue for whatever date range today, a week, a month, last month, whatever you choose. All these parameters are here, graphical, great system. They're again easy to use. Go back over here. And I think really we've about hit the highlights. I mean, you can print rate confirmations and stuff. This is just so simple, guys. I mean, you don't need to be in a system that's complicated and needs training. It's down to the meat and potatoes and what makes it easy to use, and not having to train your people, have them stumbling around trying to find out where stuff is. It's all simple here. Brokerage is pretty well complete. We got it out here working. We're still doing a lot of integrations. They're coming along daily, weekly. Trucking is just about ready. We got a few people beta testing it. It's all working out good, and we'll be offering that up for sale here real soon. Salesman payroll system. You can attach a salesman, let's say it's their customer, and you attach the salesman to the customer and the customer CRM, and then like they get 10% of, say, the brokerage or the gross, and then every time the load is booked for that customer, your salesman will have a record that you can use this system to pull up what he's got and ready to pay, and you can pay him. Really, we'll take a quick peek at brokerage invoicing. I'm not going to really do anything here. There again, this is the intro video. I'm trying to keep it short. Any loads that have a carrier, all the rates and parameters that you specify in settings, what you need to be able to say this is invoiceable, it'll show up here, and you just simply select them and process the invoice, and then it can go to QuickBooks. Not sure if this is hooked up. So anything getting ready to go to QuickBooks, this is from prior batches. So I could just hit this right here, instantly puts the invoices and the payables for the carrier, the bill, into QuickBooks Online. I mean, nothing can be easier. Hey, so we went over that. Customers, we'll just take a peek at it. This is CRM style like the carriers. You got all your search areas up here, of course, and blah, blah, blah. Shippers, receivers are the same. We have a plethora of settings in here that you can do to set up the system and your pro numbers, whether you're automatic or manual, and where you want them to start. All kinds of everything in here. And it's, there again, easy to find, easy to use, very few menus and buttons to go through. You just pick what you want on the left and look around over here on the right, and I'm sure you'll find it without any training, really. And we're going to conclude that today. There again, 32 years in business. Very few TMS companies can claim that, very few. And we've survived selling one product that whole time, and that's Dr. Dispatch. If it wasn't a great product, we wouldn't be here still. So do yourself a favor and have a look at us, and I think you'll like what you find. Thanks for stopping by.